Hey, good morning, man. Chris, first off, will you please tell me how to pronounce your last name?
Joubert.
Joubert. Okay, perfect. Is that French?
It's Creole, my
Creole.
dad's side of the family
Okay,
from Louisiana.
perfect. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Texas.
Texas? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Always born and raised in Frisco?
No, so I actually grew up in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
grew up in Fort Worth.
Well, welcome, man. I'm happy to have you here. So, for all of you
Absolutely.
watching, Chris, say it again, Joubert.
Yes, sir.
Joubert. Okay. Chris Joubert is our newest player for Rimpage. Well, actually, you're not. Someone joined this morning who's going to be representing Dallas. So, but Chris is one of our newest players on Rimpage. He's going to be representing the city of Frisco. First player in Frisco to join. So you're going to be holding that city down until you have some competition there. How do you feel about that?
I love it. I love the challenge. I'm here for it.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, tell me first off, how did you hear about Rimpage?
Actually, I follow a lot of basketball and sports pages on my Facebook,
Okay.
um, and just so happened to be scrolling through and just saw the ad and things like that, and the rest is history.
Okay. Now, one on one. Rimpage is a one-on-one league. So how do you feel about that versus team ball?
I think I'm pretty good at both. I think my one-on-one skill helps me play better team ball because when I get going, it gives my teammates opportunities to get going because
Yeah.
I attract a lot of attention on defense.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I think I can hold it down one-on-one pretty well.
Yeah. And at the very least, one on one at least shows that one, you know how to take care of yourself on offense. You can create your own shot, and number two, you don't need help on defense. You can take care of yourself on the defensive side of the ball. So it's
Absolutely.
good practice for that. Um, what I'd like to do is have you share with our audience your basketball story, starting with how you got introduced to the game and how you fell in love with it.
Oh man, I think I've been playing basketball ever since I was probably like 5 or 6. Um,
5 or 6. Wow.
yeah, I was just just came natural to me. So obviously when I turned 9, is when I actually started getting into music. Um,
Okay.
and so basketball, I wouldn't say it was on the back burner, but it was kind of
Hmm.
like secondary at that point once I
Okay.
started getting into
Okay.
music and stuff like that. And then once I got in like junior high, that's when I started, you know, picking up more of the game of basketball, learning more,
Okay.
things like that. I was self-taught,
Uh-huh.
just
Oh.
watching a lot of basketball. I never did really have like a coach or
Uh-huh.
like a somebody to kind of show me the ins and
Yeah.
outs of
Yeah.
everything. So it was more so of me just really studying the game for myself.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't really have a mentor or like someone to help me with basketball
Uh-huh.
until I became a teenager.
Hmm.
And my uncle, who is now, passed on, he was really great at basketball. Um,
Oh, okay.
due obviously it's tough for athletes due to knee injuries and things like
Yeah.
that. He
Yeah.
wasn't able to, continue at that high level. But everything that he learned and that he knew, he taught me. Surprisingly, the way that I play the game now is not the way I've always played.
Oh.
In junior high and high school, I was never the tallest person on the team, but
Uh-huh.
I was always the biggest and the strongest. Uh,
Okay.
so because of that, in junior high and high school, I had to play post.
Right.
So
I know about that.
those those years, I didn't really have any guard skills.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So you
so
had skills for the post?
yeah, so that's
Okay.
really where my game stems from. Um,
Okay.
you know, even in junior high, like I think my freshman year in high school, I'm 6'1" now.
Yeah.
I really only grew an inch since then.
Uh-huh.
But my freshman year in high school, you're lifting every day, running, doing all that kind
Okay.
of stuff. But I was 240,
Oh, wow. Oh,
uh,
wow.
and then going into my first year in college,
Uh-huh.
I was in the weight room like every single day, during working out and things like that. So then I got up to like 245.
Okay.
But like I was like super athletic.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So I was like, people literally when we would play, they literally used to call me a freight train.
Oh my goodness. Some of our players, when they see this interview, I wonder if they're going to be trembling thinking about having to guard you in the post. Now, we do have a rule. If you back a guy down, you have to take the shot from outside the key. So you can't do
Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal and just turn and dump it in the basket.
Right.
We do want to see some skill.
Well, thankfully, my game has developed,
Okay.
since those
Okay.
days. I still have a really solid post game, but I also have a really good mid range.
Okay.
So for me, backing down is not necessarily backing you down under the rim and just dumping in. For me, it's more so, I use it. I take advantage of smaller guards.
Yeah. Okay.
Guards that are not as big or as strong as me. And so I take advantage of that, and I use those different things to play to my advantage.
Yeah.
So
That's smart.
I'm not gonna give the whole formula, but
Okay.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Nice. And I like that you said you have the mid-range game because we don't see that very much. Like
It's a
Steph
lost
Curry
art.
has pushed everyone out to the half-court line.
It's definitely a lost art. So now a lot of people, they're confused when they see you in the gym shooting, 16, 17 foot jump shots.
Right.
Shooting the ball off the glass,
Yes.
things like that,
Yeah.
So that's definitely a lost art, but that's something I pride myself on.
Okay.
Because that in between game is what separates, players, because a lot of people, it's good to shoot the three, obviously, and it's good to attack the basket. But when you can have that in between game, it makes you just a little tougher to guard because now you have to guard at three levels. You have to guard attacking the basket, you have to guard the mid range, and you have to guard the jump shot from the three.
That's that IQ you was talking about, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. You were mentioning that you didn't have anyone to teach you the game early on, and what I was thinking about is it's interesting that basketball is such that you don't have to have that. You sort of just get out on the court and find out what your efficiencies are, find out where your skill set is, and just develop it. Even so that it's possible even without that training to become really good.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's just about what you're willing to put into it. Because literally, basketball, I think, is really more of a giving sport than it is a taking sport.
Really
basketball gives more to you than what it takes from you, but it'll only give what you take from it.
Yes, sir.
The more you put into it, the more time, the more work. I work on things all the time. Anybody that knows me, they know. Like I have friends now that they'll call me like all times of the day, and like when I pick up the phone, I'll say hello. And the first thing out of my mouth is, "Are you at the gym?" I'll call you when I leave the gym. So they already know. Some of them, they don't even call. They'll just text, "Hey, call me when you leave the gym," because they know where I'm at. So my wife, she knows. I'm in the gym twice a day. I drop my girls off in the morning, early in the morning at school. I hit the gym. I come back. I spend my family time. In the evening time, I'm right back at the gym. So,
wow.
It gives as much as you want from it. It's just about what you're willing to put into it.
Yeah, I love that. And every minute you spend in that gym, focused on honing those skills, rewards you. You get a reward for it every minute. Okay, so you said in junior high, you kind of got serious about it.
So junior high when I started really taking basketball serious. It's crazy because I didn't. So in junior high is when I lost my mom. And so it was kind of like basketball started to become more of become more therapeutic than anything else. So it taught me how, because, as a child, you lose a parent, sometimes that can, create emotions that you didn't know were there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So sometimes I was like angry all the time and things
Hmm.
like that. But basketball really made me channel that into something more positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I started saying, okay, well, if I'm angry or if I'm sad, I'm gonna
Yeah.
just take it out on the court.
Right. Right. Wow, a
So
constructive outlet. I've actually heard of a couple of players refer to basketball as therapeutic. I think like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, I think both of them have referred to the game as being therapeutic. It really
absolutely,
is though. Constructive
yeah,
way to let that anger out, let the frustration out, and
absolutely. So around junior highs when I started really getting serious about it. Like I said, I was always the biggest person on the team, so most of the time I was in the post.
hmm
So I didn't really get a lot of guard play, even in high
uh
school. I wasn't the tallest,
yeah,
but nobody on the team, was stronger than me.
hmm
I would think freshman year in high school, I was squatting like 400 or 500. So
wow,
lower body strength, and I always tell people all the time, it's not necessarily, just, being strong up top because, yeah,
yeah,
that's important. But when you have a strong base as a
right,
basketball player, getting rebounds, loose balls, and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I always
and
say the
getting to the basket,
lowest man wins, and a
yeah,
lot of my strength comes from my lower body. So
uh-huh.
I pride myself on that, and just trying to have that good base, and it works in my favor a lot
Yeah,
of times.
yeah. When when did you first start playing organized basketball? What was your first experience with organized basketball?
Um, I guess I would have to say, like I said, really just playing when I started playing in junior high in the eighth grade.
Okay, so
Um,
you were on the eighth grade team.
I was on the eighth grade basketball
Okay,
team, and that was my first taste of organized basketball. And
okay,
obviously, at first, I didn't like the idea of having to play big man because I felt
uh-huh.
like, I have other things I can bring to the table.
Right.
But one thing I am pretty good at is adapting on the fly.
Oh,
And
okay.
it doesn't matter who I play with. I'm not necessarily worried about, oh, I haven't scored yet. I haven't,
Right.
I've only shot 2 times or I've only shot 3 times because whatever it's going to take, for my team to win,
Yeah.
if we're playing 5-on-5 and I already got 3 shooters,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to shoot the ball.
Right.
What I'm
Right.
going to do is I'm going to play defense and I'm going to grab the rebounds and get
Yeah.
it to my shooters so
Yeah.
we can win. So if I have rebounders, if I have guys that are playing post, I don't have to play big. Now I can play guard. Now I can shoot the ball.
Okay.
Now I can do whatever it takes. Or I can, make the right pass. So, like I said, eighth grade is when I, got my first taste of organized basketball, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is
Okay.
something that I can get used to.
How was the team selected? Did they have tryouts?
Yeah, so
Did you
we
get on
did
that?
have tryout,
Okay.
and I think my in junior high, I was actually playing football and basketball.
Uh-huh.
And so, obviously, I had the reputation of being, a workhorse, just motor 100 miles an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
I played defensive end and tight end in football.
Oh, wow.
So, being strong was just kind of natural to me.
Right. Right.
So, translating that over into basketball, and it's rare that you find um, football players
Uh-huh.
that are as equally effective on the court as they
Yeah.
are on the
Yeah.
field.
Right.
Because a lot of football players, they are like exceptional athletes, but you know, can you go play a game of organized basketball and be
Right. Yeah. It's a
successful?
different skill set.
It
A lot
is
of wrists, a lot of hands, a lot of
absolutely,
footwork.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was grateful that I was able to make that, that transition
Yeah.
easily, and then, football started to become, less interesting to me,
Uh-huh.
even though I was really good at it.
Uh-huh.
I fell in love with basketball.
Uh-huh. When you tried out for the eighth grade team, did you know the coach? Did the coach encourage you to try out, or was it kind of a walk-on situation where you were this unknown and
I was really unknown because um, in eighth grade I went to Everman Junior High School, in
Okay.
Fort Worth. But before I moved to Fort Worth, I lived in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really know anybody there, at the
Okay.
school. It wasn't like, oh yeah, that's Chris. He's from such and such or whatever. So,
Yeah.
I was the new kid on the block.
Right.
I'm the big hefty guy coming in trying to play basketball.
Right.
And I even to this day I still get there. I walk in the gyms all the time, and
Huh.
people look at me. First thing they think, oh, he's just gonna play bully ball. He's just gonna do. And it's literally I can't tell you how many friends I've made based off of just that scenario because they look
Wow.
and they're just like, oh yeah, nah, he's not good. He's this, he's that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
once we're done playing and they see, all the moves that I pulled out, and it's just like, dude, I didn't know that. And so
Yeah.
like now I can't walk in a gym and stretch before somebody's coming up to me and like, hey, you trying to run right now? You can play right now. So
Wow.
it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just being able to, evolve.
Can um can you talk a little bit about that experience of being the new guy? Other kids don't know you, coach doesn't know you. Of course, there are some other kids on the team or who are trying out for the team. Maybe they're popular, everyone knows they're good and they expect them to make the team, and you're in this position where you're having to prove yourself to the coach and to your teammates as well, and then to ultimately getting selected to the team. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Obviously, yeah, it's a lot of pressure. You know, I don't care who you are. If you are an athlete of any sort, and it's time for something of that magnitude, a tryout or anything like that, and you say that you are not nervous,
Uh-huh.
you're not telling the truth. Every athlete has been in some position, whether it was trying out or whether it was a
Hmm.
big game. I mean, you get nervous,
Yeah.
but it's all about how you channel that. And one thing that I had to learn, even from that stage and going in, nobody knowing me,
Hmm.
new kid on the block, now I have a point to prove.
Yeah.
But one thing that I had to realize is that you just have to go in and be confident in what you do. A lot of people get caught up in, well, I have to do this certain thing in
Uh-huh.
order to be, you know, on the winning side or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But staying true, to who you are, staying true to what you're good at.
Right.
I know I'm not the best ball handler.
Uh-huh.
But one thing I do know is that I can protect the ball.
Right. Okay.
I don't have handles like Kyrie. I don't have handles like Steph.
Right.
But it's not too many people that can take the ball from me.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to be the one out there doing all the crossing over and the dribbling
Right.
and, that. I'm going to be more point A to point B. I'm going to make a
Right.
move and I'm going,
Yeah. Kind of stay
So,
within your game.
and you stay within your game. And I
Nice.
tell people that all the time. If you want to win, just do what you know you're capable
Hmm.
of. You start stepping outside of that and trying to, um, do things that are not in your, your repertoire, your bag, or whatever you want to call
Right. Right.
it. That's when you start messing up.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I had to take with me, even at that age, is to just go in and just be who I am. I knew I was a workhorse. I knew I was, I'm going to be strong, play good
Uh-huh.
defense. I'm going to rebound. So that's what I did. I knew scoring was going to come. You know,
Yeah.
defense. I'm playing good defense. I'm gonna get the ball is coming my way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teammates missing shots, I'm grabbing the rebound. That's all I'm
Right.
worried about. So that's where my point's coming from. I don't have to take
Right.
you off the dribble or none of that because when you miss, I'm gonna grab the rebound and put it back up.
Yeah.
So just
Okay.
man, just staying true to yourself is really the equation, the answer to that equation.
Okay. So you make the junior high team. You played that year or so, and then you move on to high school. Was it the same experience? You were not known in high school, or was that different?
Well, it was a little different, obviously because I was at junior high,
Uh,
at the same school, so most of everybody already knew me.
okay.
I
Okay.
didn't know the coach, so that was another obstacle I had to overcome because he was more so of the, I'm not really worried about your previous accolades. Like you got to
Oh.
prove to me now,
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I had to go in there once again and just be who I was.
Hmm.
you know.
Mhm.
And by that time in high school, I had developed a little bit of a jump shot,
Okay.
so that was an element of my game going into high school that people didn't know I had.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when it's time to try out, and now I'm showing that element, it's just like, okay, well, I knew he could, attack the basket. I knew he could rebound. I knew he
Right.
could play defense, but we didn't know he had a jump shot.
Right.
So going into high school on the freshman team, making that, um, I think from my freshman to my senior year, I shot 43% from the 3-point
Oh,
line all
from
4 years.
3-point line. Wow. So you played all
So
4 years in high school.
I did. I played all
Okay.
4 years
Okay.
basketball in high school. I got after my freshman year, my sophomore year, I played maybe a half a season of
Mhm.
JV basketball, and I was doing pretty well and
Mhm.
got moved up to varsity my sophomore year.
Oh,
And
wow.
so sophomore, junior, and senior year, I was on varsity.
Yeah.
So and I was, a really big part of that
Mhm.
team. I led the district in rebounds.
Mhm.
So I averaged like, 23 and 12.
Okay.
Just um,
And what high
just
school
solely,
was that?
at Everman,
Everman High
Everman.
School. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So um, anybody that knows anything about Everman or anything like that, they
Uh-huh.
know there's been plenty of people that have come through there that have been great, and
Yeah.
I'm thankful to be one of them.
Nice. So 23 and 12. So can you talk about what your thinking was towards the end of your high school career? What options were available to you? Did you want to continue with basketball, and did any schools contact you? What happened after your
Um,
high school?
so yes, I did want to continue um, playing basketball after high school. You know, it, being the I guess the big man on the team,
Uh-huh.
it had its pros and cons. For me, it was more cons than pros,
Okay.
simply because nobody's looking for a 6 foot center.
Right. Right.
So uh,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
You're a
that was
point
kind
guard
of
in
hard for
college.
me. And yeah, so in college, if you want to play college basketball at my height,
Hmm.
10 times out of 10 you're gonna be playing guard.
Right.
So I didn't have any guard skills. So,
Huh.
um, you know, going to different college workouts, trying out for different college teams,
Mm-hmm.
it was unfamiliar territory to me because
Yeah.
I wasn't used to playing guard. So I'm getting put in these situations, saying, okay, set the play up, run the offense,
Right.
do this,
Right.
do that. And I'm just like, well, this is not what I'm used to doing. I'm used to being down here, somebody throwing it to me, and
Right.
I'm going to work. So that was a little difficult for me. Just trying to navigate through that
Yeah.
and understand what I needed to do. I think coming out of high school, after being turned down by just about every school that I
Mm-hmm.
tried out for, a couple of schools they wanted me, but they didn't want to offer me a good enough scholarship to be
Right.
able to afford to go to the school.
Right.
So, um, I had to, um, I just had to self evaluate and say,
Mm-hmm.
am I going to let this be put an end to what I love doing,
Yeah.
or am I going to try to navigate through it? And that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
So I had to start learning how to be a point guard.
Yeah.
I had to start learning guard skills, and um, that's
Hmm.
something post high school that I started learning how to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. So did your high school coach ever discuss your options with you? Like I would think he would have told you, you're going to be a guard in college, so let's work on some guard stuff.
Well, no, he didn't.
Wow.
It was just more so of, you know, unfortunately, it was just what can you do to help us win?
Right.
And at that point, what I could do to help us win was,
Play the
you know,
post.
was from the post.
Wow.
Um, the only time I really was ever, or that I really ever, I guess, looked like a
Hmm.
guard was if we had a missed shot and I got the
Right.
defensive rebound and pushed it up the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was about it. But no, I didn't have those conversations with him. One, I guess, a friend of his that was a coach at a Christian university.
Uh-huh.
I guess he had a little connection there, but again, they weren't willing to offer me a full scholarship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let alone the partial scholarship that they were offering me. It just wasn't enough. I wasn't gonna be able to afford it. So I had to, kind of say, okay, well, college basketball is probably not, gonna work for me.
Wow. And so, but you still have this relationship with the game. You still love the game. Talk about that. What do you do? How do you continue with the game when college is not an option?
You just find other avenues. I had to, which is why I just told my wife earlier today. I said I think I'm addicted to working out.
Wow.
But it's like something that's just in me, and I try to find different ways to just to pursue it.
Yeah.
Like I said, coming out of high school, once I realized that I'm probably not going to play college basketball. So what I had to do was I had to say, okay, what is it that I need to do to get the attention of someone to say I could be of some value to their team at a professional level. And I just kept working, man. It just, I started learning different things. I had an injury that sidelined me for like 9 months. Went up for a layup. Somebody came under me and I injured my MCL. So like for probably about 8 or 9 months, like I couldn't. And that was like, when I tell you that was like the hardest stretch of life for me, because I'm so used to being able to pick up a basketball and
Right.
But in those 9 months, I learned a lot. And I said, okay, obviously I'm getting a little older. I'm not 21, 22 anymore.
Right.
So I have an injury that now I have to bounce back from. So what I did is I started learning, okay, how can I be effective without still playing the way that I used to? I'm used to, driving to the lane, taking 2 people up with me, finishing. I'm used to that type of basketball. But I can't play that way anymore. Because, things have happened. So what can I do? And so I started watching, Kobe Bryant. I started watching Tim Duncan. I started watching, Paul Pierce, players like that.
Right.
And how they were able to evolve their game to stay relevant. And that's what I love about the game of basketball, is because that's what I had to do. And so I started developing different skill sets. I started focusing more on making the smart play. Yes, I can probably make this shot, but if I make an extra pass, this person has a better shot. So it's just IQ, learning that, okay, I'm a big guard. I may not be as fast as everybody else, but I can use my strength to its advantage. So you may be quicker than me, but on defense, once I tell people all the time, I'm not small. So coming from a guard standpoint, if I make one good move and I can get you on my hip, it's going to take a lot.
Right, to get back in front of you.
So I use that, and that's what I had to start doing. I had to start saying, okay, how can I still be effective and not have to put so much wear and tear on my body? And that's what I had to do. And I keep myself in shape, going to different gyms and just trying to stay in different leagues and things like that. So I would love, obviously, any athlete would, but I would love to, play the game of basketball at a professional level where I'm getting paid for it and, things like that. And that's something that I'm still pursuing. It's not easy, every day is not, some days I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this basketball in the closet. I'm done with it. Because nothing's working. But as I said in the beginning, basketball gives whatever you are willing to take from it. And I'm willing to take whatever basketball is willing to offer me.
Wow. You know what? Rimpage was created for players like you. You can make a name for yourself on this platform, and you can make some money for yourself on this platform.
Absolutely.
And that's ultimately the vision for it. It's kind of like a second chance. Maybe the college didn't pick you that you wanted to go to, or maybe the league didn't pick you that you wanted to go to. Rimpage was created to be an opportunity where you can pick yourself to do great things. And that's exactly what you've done. Right now, we have a contest, a $10,000 contest. If you are the first to promote 3 times, you get $10,000 for yourself and whoever referred you to Rimpage. So there's money on the table to reward you for that work that you're putting in.
Absolutely.
You can get exposure here. You can make a name for yourself here, and it's all up to you. And that's something that I wanted to give players, that power to put it all on your shoulders and say, whatever you want to do in this league, you can do it. The stage is yours. The spotlight is yours. You're in control of your playing time. There's no one to pick you. You get on that stage and show us what you can do and get all the rewards that your skill deserves.
Absolutely.
So, man, I'm happy to have you here. And I can't wait to see you play. Can't wait to see you play. So looking forward to you. I want to bring you back on because there's some other stuff that I want to talk about with you, but we'll have to reschedule that interview for another time. But I really appreciate you joining us here, and I look forward to seeing you play.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. Looking
You're
forward.
welcome.